Navy veteran Al Kovac broke his back and neck in a parachute accident in 1991, causing his life to change in an instant.
Well, there's both the physical and the emotional obstacles that are put in place when you're catastrophically disabled. You know that this situation is going to be dictating the rest of your life, and it's not something like an illness where you get better and leave the hospital healthy. This is something that's going to be a maintenance issue for the next 40 or 50 years.
But rather than dwell on his disability, Al was inspired to focus on his varied abilities, thanks to support from a national organization of fellow paralyzed veterans.
I remember being kind of a lost soul for a while, and then I remember a national service officer representing Paralyzed Veterans of America came to my bedside, had me do the best I could at signing an X on the dotted line, and PVA moved forward from there, got me all of my education benefits, my housing grants, my monthly compensation. Just everything fell into place. If it wasn't for PVA, I don't know where I'd be right now.
We're Paralyzed Veterans helping paralyzed veterans. We're a national veteran service organization, and that opens doors for us, but we're also a disability organization, so we meet the needs of the disabled plus the disabled veterans.
Today, over 200,000 people in the United States have spinal cord injuries, and there are over 54 million Americans with disabilities. Every year, 10,000 more people sustain such injuries from military service and auto, sports, or work accidents. Yet America's paralyzed veterans and the entire disability community share a common desire to be judged not by their disabilities, but by their endless abilities and dreams to succeed.
I would say I'm probably more active now than I would have been if I was not paralyzed. I think because I've been trying to maybe prove myself to people that I'm not going to let a little wheelchair get in the way of being active.
As a national service organization dedicated to helping paralyzed veterans regain quality of life, the mission of the Paralyzed Veterans of America hasn't changed since it was founded over 60 years ago. First formed by paralyzed servicemen returning from World War II, who realized that if their needs were going to be met, they would have to take a leadership role and make it happen for themselves. The Paralyzed Veterans of America today represents thousands of paralyzed veterans from all 50 states, as well as the entire disability community.
We represent, first of all veterans, but our main focus is on the spinal cord injured or disease veterans, because there's no other group in the country, no other organization in the country that takes care of this.
Part of what happens when you're injured is that it takes about 5 years for you to go through the 5 stages of grief so that you fully understand what happened. This is a traumatic injury, and there's a lot of obstacles: health care, accessibility, making sure that you have someone that you can talk to about your problems. PVA fills all those voids.
The face of war has now changed dramatically for these paralyzed veterans, from the battleground to the hallowed ground of Washington, D.C., and our nation's court system, where advocacy teams fight for the legal rights of paralyzed veterans and for legislation to ensure real access for people with disabilities.
I say the Vietnam era was the one that really got the advocacy going, because the Vietnam veteran was not going to sit in his house and just waste away. They wanted to get out, and that's what they did.
It's very important for us to be here. We want them to see us. We want to be able to go over and testify whenever we need to, and we probably testify 5 or 6 times a year.
I think of Paralyzed Veterans of America every time I park in a handicapped parking spot, use an elevator. There's those little buttons next to a door of a commercial building that has a little wheelchair symbol on it. You hit it and the door opens up for you. That's all because of PVA. It's really amazing that, you know, PVA advocates for its 20,000 members, but the ripple effect, it affects 54 million disabled Americans.
Paralyzed veterans are also helping fellow veterans secure the long-term health care and other benefits to which they are entitled, as well as the support of education and research for new treatments and ultimately a cure for spinal cord injury and related disorders.
To continue the research to find a cure for spinal cord injury and MS, to provide service officers through the VA to help veterans with their claims, to make sure that all veterans have access to quality health care.
Through a public outreach program of public service announcements and e-card campaigns for families to reach service members in the field, and a nationwide program of wheelchair athletics and sports competition, paralyzed veterans are finding a reason to once again live their lives to the fullest.
It's almost limitless. You can do track and field events, you can do billiard, bowling, the recreational stuff. The younger guys go with the quad rugby and the basketball.
In 1998, I actually pushed my wheelchair from LA to New York City, about 3,500 miles in 65 days.
There is no barrier, really. We can do the same thing as anyone able-bodied, just sometimes takes us a little bit longer to do it.
With the support of the American public, paralyzed veterans are hoping that barriers can be broken and health concerns solved for veterans and the disabled community, including even a cure for paralysis, so that America can become a fully accessible society. A spinal cord injury changes an individual's life in an instant, physically, emotionally, and socially. For the thousands of American heroes who have been paralyzed by war injuries, the Paralyzed Veterans of America has been their united voice for providing care and finding a cure.
I have to say, from the time I wake up in the morning to the time I go to bed at night, every aspect of my life has been influenced in some way by Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We're here for one mission only, and that's for paralyzed veterans. And we're a big family, we really are, proud family.
As the only congressionally chartered veteran service organization dedicated solely to individuals with spinal cord injury or disease, the Paralyzed Veterans of America has been working for over 60 years to create an America where all veterans and people with disabilities have everything they need to thrive in life.
Paralyzed Veterans is one of those organizations that's known for bringing the issues to you, but also bringing you to solutions to those problems.
If you could sum it up in one word, it would be accessibility, that I have the same rights as you do. Same rights to go in that movie theater, the same rights to have your job if I can do it, same rights to, matter of fact, to live, period, as a human being.
From supporting advocacy groups on Capitol Hill to investing millions of dollars in research to find a cure for paralysis to sponsoring national sporting events for wheelchair athletes, the Paralyzed Veterans of America is standing up for those who can't, to create an America that is barrier-free.
We get no funding from the federal government whatsoever, so we get all of our money from donors. They're very giving to us. They believe in our mission and they help us. Without our donors, we couldn't accomplish the great and wonderful things that we do.
You can help stand for America's bravest. To donate or receive more information, visit supportveterans.org.